It's sad to see a political icon fall, as some people are just born special and born at the right moment, in the right time, and have purpose. But that's not who we're talking about today. Today we're talking about Jake Lang. I can't stand this guy, and I had this come across my algorithm, so I'm going to share it with you guys. Listen, the conversation around birthright citizenship is all over the internet right now, and everyone has a hot take, including myself. But this isn't about me. Jake Lang went and had a one-on-one with a black conservative influencer, and it just got completely out of hand. Because you have to remember, in Jake's world, the only real Americans, the only real patriots, they look just like him. And I wanted to present this to you guys because this is more than just two guys yelling in a room. Right? This is the exact moment that the grift eats itself alive.
Home. What does that mean?
Yes.
Jay, tell me what that means.
Yes.
Tell me what that means. What does it mean to be home? If I was born here, if my grandmother was born here, my daddy was born here, I got most of the my family was born here.
Are you black or are you Spanish? What are you? I don't know.
I am black, boy.
Okay, you're black. Are you 100% black?
What the fuck difference does it make?
Well, I mean, that does make a difference.
It don't make a fucking difference if you was born in this nation and you built this motherfucker.
Black people are unassimilated.
No, bullshit. If you were born in this country and you built this motherfucker.
Grew up in
Shit, what do you mean? That don't matter. Shit to what I just said.
What do you mean?
Listen to what the fuck I just said.
Our children.
Who the fuck is murdering your children?
Austin Metcalf, Irina Zarewski, Henry Nowak.
You want to talk about the fact white people commit more violence than anybody else in this world? What the fuck are you talking about?
Come on, man.
What are you talking
This
about?
guy's a comic book.
You talk about you really want to sit. You want to hold on, fuck that. You want to sit here and talk about. You really want to talk about.
Times more likely to assault me than the other way around.
No, bullshit. You really want to talk about violence in this country? The bullshit that you just spewed. Y'all better get this shit on
George Floyd.
The bullshit
Black
you just.
Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Come on, man.
This is the problem with the conservative movement. I mean, there's many, many problems, but this particularly, this level of vitriol-filled influencing, and it really needs a better word than that. But the different sects will never be compatible. There's always going to be some kind of purity test. And any time you have zealous extremist movements, that's an inevitability. Now, I'm from a more conservative side of the political spectrum originally. And I've known a lot of black conservatives in my life. And isolated, ideology in any community makes sense. But the thing is, once you leave the theoretical and see how it reacts in the real world, how it's met in the real world by your allies, those who you think would have your back because you share an ideology, well, this is usually what happens. But like I said, I despise Jake Lang, so I'm going to tear into him for a little bit. Listen, anybody who's spent 2 seconds in the real world and has any experience or exposure to violence recognizes fake puffed up bravado immediately. It's the frantic, erratic pacing of a completely hollow man who's never actually had his teeth kicked in by reality. Right? He puffs out his chest and demands Austin's racial bloodline, hiding his profound, pathetic insecurity behind a mask of aggression. That's exactly who this person is. And that's exactly why it's an absolute peak of this kind of comedy. He claims his deep Christian faith is the only thing stopping him from committing violence. But let's be crystal clear about this absolute charlatan. Jake Lang wields Christianity like a bloody club to justify his own psychotic behavior, desecrating every actual tenet of the faith that he pretends to hold. He's a spoiled child, a child of immense privilege, who literally had his bar mitzvah at the Western Wall in Jerusalem. And now he roams the country cosplaying a far-right Christian crusader, burning the Talmud for clicks. It's truly sad because, like I said, this is a person who was born into a lot of privilege, a lot of opportunity, but that just simply wasn't enough for him. He didn't get the kind of validation that I guess a young kid needed. And the rabbit holes that we can go down the internet can take us to bad places and turn us into bad people. I guess he doesn't care about God. He cares about the grift. He got a tiny taste of internet fame after spending 4 years in a federal cage for swinging a baseball bat at Capitol Police on January 6th. And he's been desperately chasing that dragon ever since. But grifters who spend their entire lives begging for a problem eventually find one that they can't outrun. I want you to look at this image and absolutely drink in the soul-crushing terror in his eyes. Because Lang thought that he was going to be a conquering hero by marching down into a smally American neighborhood in Minneapolis to burn a Quran for a viral clip. because that's the kind of things that this guy does for fun. This is what he does for money.
Will be burning Qurans, standing up against the Somali invasion of Minneapolis, the immediate deportation of Ilhan Omar, and the arrest of the scammer Tim Walz.
But the second that hundreds of actual breathing locals showed up and swarmed his little pathetic group, the alpha male internet facade just simply evaporated. See, he realized that he wasn't on Twitter anymore, or X. He was in the physical world, and he completely folded like a cheap lawn chair. He was so utterly humiliated by that entire thing that he actually tried to crawl back his dignity by filming himself attacking a $6,250 prosecute ICE sculpture at the Minnesota state capitol.
President Trump, we support you. We support ICE. Our country was made for Americans, not for Somalis.
If you know what violence is, if you've been trained, if you've been in combat, whatever it may be, you've lived a rough life, you know tough people when you see them. You know people who've actually been through the ringer. This is not one of them. It simply isn't. But he was inevitably charged with first-degree property damage. Shame. Right? This self-proclaimed patriot literally whined to the police that it was his First Amendment right of artistic expression. Right? And he's still scheduled to face trial for that ridiculous stunt in July 27, 2026. Just coming up, Jake. The entire confrontation with Mr. Julio is a perfect high-definition projection of the terminal cancer eating the conservative base alive right now. The Austin Julio is standing there attempting to engage in a legitimate, historically grounded debate about civic nationalism and the legacy of the 14th Amendment. He's bringing facts to the table, laying entirely unequipped for any kind of rigorous intellectual debate. He immediately short circuits. Right? You have minority conservatives trying to actually argue constitutional history, right? Slamming headfirst into the ethno-nationalist parasites who've completely hijacked that party. So let's watch the rest of that clip where Lang gets rhetorically slaughtered.
The reason that black people were so successful in this country while y'all were beating us.
Integration.
What do you mean before integration?
Yes, you guys had your own MLB teams, you had your own jazz clubs, your own hotels, your own bus
You know why
companies.
we had to do that?
You had a beautiful
you know
country.
why we had to do that?
Before
you
the
know why we had to do
Democrats
that?
smushed
Because
in with
motherfuckers
us.
that looked like you said we were good enough to build this land, but we were
You
good
had your
enough
own
to be
school
citizens.
system, you had everything.
The people that
And then all
look
of a sudden
like
the
you,
Democrats
the
smushed
sick,
in.
the sick that look like you. Justice Taylor has said that a black man can build this nation, but he has no rights that a white man is bound to respect. Sick motherfuckers. Sick white peons that think the way that you think.
Like Al Sharpton.
No,
here.
it ain't Al Sharpton.
Hallelujah.
No, it ain't Al Sharpton.
Hallelujah.
No, it ain't Al Sharpton. Fuck, this is real. That's what you don't understand.
No.
The difference between motherfuckers like you and niggas that actually built this bitch is why
Did you watch the BET Awards this year?
No, I didn't. I don't
Did
give
you
a fuck about
celebrate-
BET.
did you
I don't give a fuck about
celebrate
BET.
Molly Perkins
You are
said.
useless.
Molly Perkins
worthless.
said that's what your
The
community
shit
is
you're
known for.
spewing, the shit you're spewing is exactly
whole
why
entire
motherfuckers don't like
atmosphere that
Republicans.
you create
The
when
shit
you
you're
speak
spewing
is
the
ghetto.
shit you're spewing.
This shit is ghetto,
No,
bro.
it ain't. No.
Shit is not. You're not.
What do you think what you're spewing
Just
is?
because you dress up nice like white people doesn't mean you're
Like
not
white
ghetto.
people? Motherfucker, what is you talking about? Like white people?
Look how you're speaking.
Look at what you said. You
I'm
said
saying
you
that
were
black people are not
anti-immigrant.
assimilated into white culture. They're not. You guys are violent. You
Why would we
glorify
assimilate to a culture that
drug
killed
dealing.
us?
You glorify
Why would we assimilate to a
ball
culture that
playing.
killed us?
You glorify.
Why would we assimilate to a culture that saw us as
not a
fuck?
Republican. He
Why
cannot
would
be
we
on that
assimilate
side.
to a
It's a
Why
Black
would we
Lives
assimilate to a
Matter
culture that killed us?
You can't even get into the Patriot Party.
For the record, this is why the Republican. This is why white folks like you make the Republicans. And that's why niggas like you got to talk to a 15-year-old. Cause couldn't win no real woman would ever give you no pussy.
I understand the energy and frustration, because what you have to realize, most of these people, they've never actually been confronted with the consequences of their statements, the consequences of their actions. And I actually thought that in January, when Jake Lang got surrounded in Minneapolis, that maybe he would have had a moment of retrospection, especially because his life was saved by a black man. You know, he was about to get torn apart by that mob. But no, not at all. Well, later that day, he was right back to it again. And as a black conservative, this is what you have to deal with. These are the people that are your allies, who support you, Well, you thought they supported you. It's not so much of a big tent as maybe a lot of people were led to believe. But you got to appreciate the parting shot there as Jake Lang kind of scurries out the door, because that is a bit of a scandal, the whole him talking to a 15-year-old. But I guess that's par for the course for that entire side of the political spectrum right now, isn't it? When you have zero intellectual discipline and zero actual arguments, all you can really do is flip the board and throw a tantrum. And in a way, both these people are absolutely guilty of that. Jake Lang is the ultimate manifestation of monetized lunacy. Earlier this year, this clown actually launched a campaign for the U.S. Senate in Florida. His platform on October 22nd, 2025, is he promised that his very first act as U.S. Senator would be to ban Islam. Right? He pledged to deputize the Proud Boys to bounty hunt illegal immigrants. It was such a transparent, pathetic scam that all he was able to actually raise was $4,397 before tucking his tail and withdrawing. But I guess the question we have to ask ourselves is, why did he quit? Why didn't he keep running? Right? It's not about the money, isn't it? It's about the message. It's about the movement. The fact is he has no support because he's a completely uncontrollable liability who can't stop catching felonies. In early June 2026, he posted a video of himself trespassing in Kai Kendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas, right, the site of a fatal stabbing resulting in a criminal trespass warrant. Where he was booked into jail on June 2nd and released, but he couldn't help himself. On June 9th, he was arrested again in Dallas County, Texas, and slapped with third-degree felony for making terroristic threats.
Learned about the arrest of far-right influencer Jake Lang. The pardoned January 6th rioter who lives in Florida made multiple appearances outside the Carmelo Anthony trial this week. He's now in the Dallas County Jail on a $1 million bond and is facing charges of making terroristic threats.
Prosecutors played a live stream video in court showing Lang allegedly threatening to shoot a murder defendant in the head, because these people care about the law and due process. But the judge slapped a GPS monitor on his ankle, reduced his bond to $250,000, and literally barred him from entering the state of Texas unless he's appearing in court or meeting with his attorney. The guy who thinks that he's the ultimate patriot was legally exiled from Texas because he's simply incapable of functioning in civilized society. And I believe that is representative of so many millions of people right now from the MAGA movement who've been so propagandized, who've had their brains completely eaten away by the algorithm, by the insanity, by the wickedness. And if you think this disease is contained to the United States, like I said, hey, a lot of Canadians watching. Look around you. We have actively exported this exact brand of weaponized brain-dead grievance. Look at the complete clown show that is the separatist movement in Alberta. You have a massive right-wing separatist movement boiling over into Canada, fueled almost exclusively by an unhinged faction of voters who harbor the deepest of resentments. And the questions surrounding Alberta Premier Danielle Smith playing this kind of catastrophically dangerous game of political appeasement with these lunatics raises so many questions. And of course, it's tied into the MAGA movement in the United States with the ambassador, apparently. No definitives. But it's pure, unadulterated political cowardice dressed up as listening to the people. But it's such a small fraction of people, and of course, leaving out the natives in their opinion. And this isn't just about one rogue politician. Right? This isn't just about Trump. This isn't just about any of the administration. This isn't just about Danielle Smith. It's a symptom of a base that's been totally hollowed out by these internet grifters and grievance peddlers, and given succor and solace to replace the hole that is left by personal failure. It's the exact same underlying psychosis that drives someone like Jake Lang and Maple MAGA crowd. Right? It's a coalition of people who view every minor inconvenience in their pampered lives as apocalyptic tyranny, desperately demanding to be treated like historical revolutionaries. They blame immigrants for everything. Right? They demand mass deportations no matter how ruthless and brutal they may be. They threaten to tear apart their own countries if they don't get exactly what they want. In reality, they're just extremely annoying. They're insufferable people. Destructive pests who throw tantrums when faced with the consequences of their own actions. Jake Lang wants to be a martyr. And he's frantically running around the entire continent screaming at minorities, right? Destroying property, threatening violence, right? Desperately searching for the one massive headline that's finally going to validate his entire pathetic existence. Because this is a man who, above all else, craves infamy. And he needs it to feel like he actually matters. The beautiful, undeniable reality is that he's absolutely going to get that headline one day. He's going to push the wrong person in the exact wrong city, the exact wrong time. And he's finally going to secure that massive breaking news headline that he spent his entire miserable life trying to manifest. But in the end, he just won't be around to read it. Food for thought as always. Take care. Fuck you, Jake Lang.